So I want to give everybody a little bit of an update here on the 2020 Democratic primary. Some people view this as a positive story. Some people view this as a negative story. We'll dive into it. But Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and John Kerry are going to lead the Biden-Sanders Unity Task Force on the issue of climate change. Now, the article goes on to explain that there are 6 Unity task forces. And here's what they're on. Climate change, like I just said, criminal justice reform, the economy, education, healthcare, and immigration. So those are going to be the overarching topics. And then, you know, the left flank and the centrists get together and they come to some sort of conclusions or some sort of policy recommendations for Biden moving forward if he were to become president. Now, Pramila Jayapal is also on one of these task forces. She will co-chair the healthcare task force. She, of course, is very much in favor of Medicare for all. So, listen, this has led to a pretty strong debate happening on the left right now. And I tweeted some stuff yesterday, and Cenk Uygur responded to me. He's one person who seems to disagree. My take on the task forces is a little bit doom and gloom. And that is, it's honestly just an attempt to placate the left. You want to know why I say that? Because it's really simple. You're either for Medicare for all or you're not. You're for free college or you're not. You're for ending the wars or you're not. You're for UBI or you're not. And you don't need a task force to, you know, tell you whether or not those things are good or whether or not to be in favor of those things. You're either for them or you're not. And Joe Biden is not for them. And listen, guys, it's sad, but it's true. Joe Biden is in his 70s, and he's got a political record that's the length of a novel. He's been in public life forever. Why is anybody pretending we don't know exactly how this guy will govern? Now, listen, there's some people, plenty of people out there who say, hey, I know how he's going to govern, and I'm down with it. Okay, God bless, by all means, good for you. But if you are trying to pretend like these task forces will really have any impact on how he governs, I got a bridge to sell you. Because whatever contributions the left makes, they're going to be ignored. Biden's going to use it for toilet paper. By the way, same thing goes for the platform. Bernie's so intent on influencing the platform and getting as many delegates as possible so that when we get to the convention, you know, he can have more say and push the party left. I mean, I love Bernie and, you know, I'm cool with that happening. I would prefer that happens, but let's not kid ourselves, man. It's going to be ignored. All the left-wing stuff in the platform will be ignored. All the left-wing stuff from these task forces will be ignored. So really, this is all just a show. It's a show to make the left feel better. Make the left feel like they're being more included. Now, listen, I get it, because there are going to be people who listen to this, and they're going to say, well, what the hell, Kyle? Like, is there anything that could be done to get you off his butt? And, like, I hear you. I don't want to leave people with the impression that there's nothing that could have been done to earn my vote, because there is stuff that could have been done to earn my vote. But for me, it has to be tangible. It can't be like, this is the kind of stuff that drives me the most crazy. Because these are like, honestly, the way I look at these task forces is like, here we have professional BSing committees. Like, that's what this is. That's what this is. It's a committee that's set up to let people, you know, go there and let the left talk about their fifis and what they believe in, and then the centrists will agree sometimes, disagree other times, and then they'll come up with recommendations. There's a decent chance that there'll be ridiculous center ground, you know, compromises that are totally anathema to everything the left believes in anyway, or they might even concede on some stuff and, you know, appear like Biden will be further left than what he's portrayed previously. Either way, he's going to do Dickie McGee's acts. He's not going to do what the task force wants. So, or if I should be clear. He's not going to do what the task force wants if they go left enough. If they're centrist enough, perhaps he will do it. But the reason I say that is because of his record. His record is crystal clear. He's a neoliberal corporatist. That's what he is. Now, if you want to defend that on those grounds, by all means, that's intellectually honest. But if you want to lie to yourself and say, well, no, actually, these task forces will make him not a neoliberal corporatist, I think you kind of got a cinder block where your brain is supposed to be. So, I mean, it's sad. And the reason why I think a lot of good people are hesitating to admit this is because they don't want to feel hopeless. And if they admit that these task forces are just a show, then they feel hopeless. But guys, we have to be honest about stuff in order to ever change it. We can't lie to ourselves. So, again, I hate to bring it up for the 1,000th time, but I can sense the objections out there to some people who are watching this segment who would say, hey man, they can never satisfy you. Here he is, here Biden is trying to reach out to the left, and you're still saying no. So what could he have done to get your support? Well, I'll say it again for the 1,000th time. Really, if it was on Bernie to make this move, and he failed. I'm sorry, he failed because he never even left himself the option of walking away and not supporting Biden. But Bernie really, when he was considering dropping out, should have talked to Biden and said, listen, man, I will drop out and I will give you a full-throated endorsement and I will campaign for you, but here's a list of 10 executive orders that you have to do. And you have to do them within the first 100 days. I need your word. I need it, like, literally, let's get you on paper. Let's get you on paper saying, I will do these 10 executive orders. And again, it's not a guarantee Biden would have said yes, but it's possible he would have said, I'll do 5. Or maybe worst case scenario, I'll do 3. And we could have gotten some tangible stuff. And, you know, if he's on paper committing to legalize marijuana within the first 100 days, or stop outsourcing or punish outsourcers within the first 100 days, or any of a variety of executive orders that he could do, well then listen, Bernie can go back to his people and show them something tangible. And say, look, man, you guys make up your own mind. You're your own people, but you want to leave legalizing marijuana on the table? Is that what you want to do? You want to leave protecting American jobs on the table? Is that what you want to do? I honestly think he could have gotten some tangible executive orders out of this. And then honestly, I probably would vote for Biden in that situation. Because there's something there that I could really grasp onto and hold on to. And when people come at me, I say, no, look, there are, like, here are the very, very good things he's going to do that really coincide with my own ideology. Whereas now, all we have is, hey, he's probably going to be better on the courts. He's probably going to be better on the Paris Climate Agreement. He's probably going to be better on the Iran deal. You agree with him more on, like, abortion and social issue stuff, but stuff that there probably won't be legislation on. Just because he agrees with me doesn't mean there's going to be legislation on it in his term. So, you know, that's possible. But my response to that, and you guys know, is just not enough. It's just not enough. I'm sorry. It's so weak. It's so pathetic. It's so sad. Because even though I might have more areas of agreement with Biden, he's still beyond the pale. And again, I could list a bunch of issues where I agree more with Trump, like TPP, like North Korea, like the First Step Act and pardoning Alice Johnson. So, like, just don't kid yourself is what I'm saying. Just don't go into this with your eyes wide open and realize that these task forces are nothing but a show. And I know it sucks, and I know it hurts, and I know it's like, wow, well then everything feels hopeless. But it's the truth. And the truth is more important than making yourself feel better with silly fairy tales. Okay? And I honestly believe that Pramila Jayapal, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, all these people who are involved in these task forces, I think that they think they're doing the right thing. You know, in the same way that I think when these guys work with Pelosi and don't, you know, buck her and don't call her out, I think that they think they're doing the right thing and they're being clever and they're being crafty, and eventually they'll pull some jujitsu move and then boom, I got her and we'll get my priorities in. So I don't want to go too hard on them. I don't want to question their motives. I think their motives are good, but I do think they're being duped. I do. I think they're being duped. I actually think it's kind of sad to see. And I think that a lot of people on the left are going to believe in these task forces because not believing in them is just a difficult place to be in mentally, because then you feel like everything is hopeless and what's the point? Well, unfortunately, I'm here to burst everybody's bubble and tell them these aren't going to lead to anything, just like the platform isn't going to lead to anything. Whatever the left comes up with will be ignored. And I really think that deep down, if people are really willing to view this honestly, I really think deep down people know it's true. And it's just rationalizations to hang on to some sort of hope. So, Cenk responded to me yesterday, Cenk Uygur, the Young Turks, and he was like, well, you got to give them a chance. Like, you got to give these task forces a chance to do what they're going to do before you judge it. And my response to that is, no, I don't. No, I don't. Because if it is kabuki theater, if it is a show, if the left-wing recommendations are going to be ignored anyway, I'm not going to play this silly game. I'm done playing this silly game. I'm not going to pretend like we're being served chocolate cake when it's a plate of horse crap. Not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. Sorry. And you guys come here. I mean, it's incumbent upon me to tell you guys the truth as I see it. And this is the truth. Again, there were very clear things, in my opinion, Biden could have done to get my vote. The other thing, as you know, Bernie or Nina for VP, I would have voted for Biden. If he passed my standard, very lenient purity test, then I would have voted for him as well. Convince me you're going to fight for and you believe in one or two of my top 5 issues: Medicare for all, free college, living wage, and the wars UBI. He's not there. So what do you want me to tell you, man? It is what it is. I guess here's the final point I'll make. I'll play devil's advocate just a little bit. With Biden, at least you're getting an acknowledgement of the left, even if it's just to placate the left. Whereas with Hillary, it was not even acknowledging the left, not even placating the left. It was like, hey, piss off, hop on board, or shut up. Whereas with Biden, he's trying to play the game better. He's trying to at least give the left the respect of a show, to feign care and concern and meeting halfway. Now, he's not going to meet halfway. He's not going to implement these left-wing ideas. But at least now the show is there, and it gives people something to hang on to where they can respond to the grizzled old cynics like me and say, like, well, what else do you want, bro? Look at what they're doing. They got the task forces and stuff, bro. So I guess you could make that argument, and maybe people are just naive enough where something like this works to get him over the edge. But honestly, I think the youth vote in this upcoming election might not even matter. Honestly. Because whatever coalition Biden will put together is going to be very different from the Obama coalition. It's not going to be the same as the Obama coalition. Because the Obama coalition, a very important part of it was the youth. With the Biden coalition, we'll get to these numbers later, he brought about a giant surge in like middle income suburbia old folks. Seriously. So whatever coalition he's creating is very, very different. And it's possible that coalition on its own works. That, conventional wisdom is maybe a Democrat needs the youth. Maybe Biden's going to prove that trend wrong. Maybe, we're going to be at a point come the election where people are so tired of the COVID-19 crisis and they think Trump is doing such a bad job and the death rate is so high and the unemployment rate is still so high that people are like anything but Trump. And then you really get those older voters, to come out for Biden and the youth doesn't matter. So I don't know. That's certainly possible. But I guess my devil's advocate argument is at least he's giving people something where if they want to choose to buy into the delusion, they can buy into the delusion. Whereas with Hillary, she didn't even offer that. But I actually think there's an argument in the other direction too, which is, hey, at least Hillary was more honest. There is an argument for either one of those approaches that a neoliberal corporatist might take. Hillary's was, hey, piss off, I don't really like you. And our response back was, all right, bet, because I don't like you either. So, but at least that was honest. Like, she was honest, albeit politically dumb, but honest. Whereas Biden, this might be smart politically in the sense that he's betting on the left being naive enough and young people being naive enough to want to believe in something to make them think these task forces matter. So I don't know. But anyway, I'm rambling now and I'm babbling on. But bottom line is I really think this is a giant effort to placate the left. And I think people who fall for it, as much as I love all of you out there, including Jank, I think that, I mean, this is like sucker stuff, man. This is obvious. He's going to ignore it, I think. But we'll see. Time will tell.